Good afternoon, friends. We are very clearly out of practice as it relates to going on camping trips because we have forgotten quite a few things. It has been over a month since we've been out, and with all the excitement around the new Salem view behind us, I guess it's just caused us to lose track.
Yeah, well, and I think a couple things too. So we completely emptied out the old rig, and some things got moved into the house and some things got moved into the garage, and some things just didn't make it back into the new one.
Well, or the truck for that matter. So we want to welcome any of the newcomers that are coming here to see the new Salem view. We'll be showing it off over the course of this series. Right now we're headed to Black Moshanon State Park, which is in the remote area of central Pennsylvania. So we're pretty excited. We're not your normal RV YouTube channel. We will be showing you quite a bit of adventure. Our goals here is to find waterfalls and scenic vistas and really get into some hiking and kind of see if 35 feet of a rig is too big for Pennsylvania state parks, which we frequent. Our site is site 12, and it says it's able to accommodate a 40-foot rig, so we're 5 feet under, and I'm hoping that's going to work out okay. You don't know anything about Black Moshanon, do you?
I do not, other than anytime we drive north on 99, we see signs for it.
I hear a lot about it. People say it's very remote and a very good place to go. One of the things we forgot is the Purple Lizard map for the area, so hopefully we can find the vistas I'm looking for. Pennsylvania usually provides really good brochures of state forest lands, and so we should be able to pick one up there, which would lead us to where we're going. And the waterfall, I might have my book, but I'm not sure. As far as the new rig goes, though, we're on an interstate now going close to 70 mile an hour. It does feel fairly solid. We've gone over quite a bit of bridge expansion joints. That truck and trailer handled it pretty well. Some of them, we've gone over them countless times towing, and some of them will rock you.
Yeah.
So I think as far as hitch setup and things like that go, it feels good going down the road, and that's important. We'll keep you updated as far as that goes, and I want to try to get some footage of the truck and trailer loaded on some flat ground to see what things look like from afar. So we'll do that when we're filling up with water, hopefully, and we'll see you at the campground. So we're filling up with water here. The trip up here wasn't too bad. It was very windy, and I'm still trying to get a feel for what's normal as it relates to towing something this long. It looks to me like sitting here in this spot that we need a little bit more weight distribution, so probably before the spring, twirl that thumb screw out a bit more. And what is quite silly about this camper is that the water fill is over here on the campsite, so you got to run a hose underneath, which is, like I said, it's quite silly. The water here at Black Moshanon right now, they're having some sort of E. coli problem. It's not able to be used for drinking. We're going to have to buy some drinking water tomorrow to get through the weekend. We are here, today's Thursday. We're here till Sunday, so we need 3 days worth of drinking water essentially. And we're going to be hiking and doing active stuff, so we're going to need probably a good bit, I would imagine. But this is what stinks about having the water fill over there, is if we had a hose with pressure actually, it'd be worse because we would have to both stand somewhere to be able to do it, because it would force the other end out of the fill port. But because this does not seem like it has any pressure, it's not filling up very fast, which also sucks because you got to stand here for a while and hold it.
I don't hear it as much though, so it's definitely getting more full. There's less air in the tank. I can't hear it anymore.
So yeah, we're getting somewhere. We need enough water to shower and use the bathroom. It'll be safe for all that, and pretty much nothing else. So we'll be with you over at our site.
Just a little more. Just a little.
I don't know what you can see, friends, or not. But backing up a brand new trailer that's 10 feet longer in the dark is quite fun. I think this probably would have been an easy peasy back in, but given the circumstances, it was not. So we're just trying to get some wheels chalked. It's only 5 o'clock. That's what sucks about this time of year and this stupid time change. Getting in on an evening after work is just questionable. But the kids are getting restless. Let me get this side chalked so we can get them out of the truck. Well, we've got everything set up. It's, I'd say, probably about 5. It's probably pushing 6 o'clock by now. If you're wondering why it is that we bought this rig, well, I'll tell you, it's because situations like these where it's a little bit cool, although it has been a nice day and we're expecting beautiful weather on this trip, but like, this is a much better time to be spent inside, and now we have the space inside to be inside, but we got the windows and stuff to bring the outside in, but yet we can be a little more comfortable. Right now I'm going to see what works and what doesn't, because we did a pretty poor job with the walkthrough, so we got to see, does our furnace work? We have a fireplace too, check the water pump, things like that. I'll show you maybe better in the morning, but we weren't able to get completely level. The front is still too high, but there's no way to lower the front anymore. So this site is just that cattywampus that you just can't level it. Now, I don't want to discourage people from choosing site 12 here at Black Moshanon with a 35-foot rig, but it does say 40 feet, and I don't think I'd want to be any bigger and try to get anywhere near this campground. So that's where we're at. Let's go inside. We're all inside. We're microwaving a dinner. I know that's not camping for some people, but for the first night of the trip, when it's dark outside, there's no reason for us to be outside fumbling around in the dark trying to get set up. So what?
Especially if the children are screaming for food.
Yes, they wanted food quickly. We had a meal prepared that we could just reheat. That's the best thing to do for the first night of camping. We're going to have fires the next 2 nights, so don't worry. We're not just going to become RVers that film ourselves inside the RV, but we are going to be spending more time here inside and not being miserable in doing so. Is it everything you hope for?
So far. We haven't gone to sleep yet, and we are on a crazy incline, so we are going to be like holding on to the sides of the bed to keep from sliding out of bed or something.
Yeah, if it had been light out when we set up, we would have been able to be level more, and I'd have probably known or changed, because the tongue could have been more that way and we'd have been perfectly fine, but we're just in a...
It's a really steep site, like it's very on a hill, so...
But I don't know, it might not be the end of the world, but yeah, just we're enjoying the space in here, for sure.
Although I'm still tripping over dogs.
I'm trying to figure out how everything works in here. Look, we got decorative lighting up there. There's going to be a full tour of the rig in like 3 or 4 episodes, but we are trying to break it up with this trip because we are a destination-focused channel, and I want to continue to be that way, but with little blurbs maybe of the new RV over the next episode or 2. But with that being said, I'm heating up my food, so then I'm going to eat, and we're all going to go to sleep, and we're going to get up in the morning and go find a waterfall. So that's the plan. Ready?
Yep.
Perfect. Alright, so friends, we're headed out here this morning, and we're headed over to a waterfall that's off of PA 144. If you're in areas like this that don't have cell phone service, like the remote areas of Pennsylvania, you want some sort of paper guide to where you're going. And this is the book that we're using today to find where we're going. And I'm not sponsored, and I don't know Jim Chaney, but he's got a great website with all sorts of posts about the beauty of Pennsylvania. I bought his book, and I think we share kind of a common goal to show off Pennsylvania and how great it really is around here. So without further ado, let's go for a drive. There's also a scenic overlook I want to take you to, so that's today's adventure. Before we go on our adventure, though, we do need to find us sheets, because we need to get some drinking water, and we need to get gas for the truck.
And coffee.
And coffee. So... yeah, but other than the water debacle, how was our first night, would you say, in the new camper, other than the grumpy children?
Yeah, so William I don't think Sarah had any trouble sleeping, but William did, and that's not all that surprising, because it is a new space for him.
Yeah, and he's not even 2 years old yet, so...
So, yeah, he's getting a cold, but other than that, I think it worked out really nice, and when I first laid down, I was worried that I wouldn't be able to hear the children if they needed me for anything, but I definitely did, so it's all good.
Yeah, so life is good. We were able to eat breakfast inside today, but sort of feel like we're outside, so that's what we like, is feeling like we're outside while we're inside. So Off to Sheets we go, then on the waterfall hunt. My friends, we have made it here to the Chuck Keiper Trail. I wanted to bring you back out here onto the road to show you that you're looking for a pretty obvious sign if you're trying to come up here and find this place. And the book said it was a small sign, but it looks like it's a fairly new sign too. I've driven this road about 1,000 times. This is PA 144, part of Pennsylvania's elk Scenic Byway. Although I've never seen an elk up here on the ridge. I've seen elk off of 144, but not here. I'm not exactly sure where the trail starts. Got to kind of get my bearings here, but you come down this road and there's a nice little parking area over here. So we're gonna go try to find these two waterfalls. There's two of them that are seemingly identical, but they're over 100 yards apart. So that's our goal. And Rachel's getting the kids out of the truck and we're gonna get going. It also does look like, if this is the trail we're following, which I don't know yet, but it looks like the trail is blazed in orange. So hopefully easy to follow and easy to find our way, because we get lost pretty easily, so we don't want to have that happen today. Looks like there might even be maps here. Wouldn't that be nice? Yes, there is. We are in the Sproul State Forest right now, and Pennsylvania's maps and brochures for state parks and state forests are second to none. We did pick up a map for Moshannon because that's where we're going to be hiking tomorrow, and now we have one for here, so we're pretty well ready to go. And there is no purple lizard map to my knowledge for this area, and the one I have for Moshannon is sitting on my desk at home, so once again, unprepared, but prepared as we need to be to find our way around, I guess. The book says to follow this road and you'll come to some gates and make a left, or some such thing. So I don't know if we're exactly following the Chuck Keiper Trail, but looking at the Sproul State Forest map, it really looks like the Chuck Keiper Trail would be a great backpacking loop. It's about 50 miles, and I know the scenery right around here is the best in Pennsylvania. So that might be something that we do in the future, maybe for the channel or something. I'd like to get into more backpacking stuff. We do have some things in the works as far as backpacking goes. So yeah, we're gonna keep on walking down this is kind of what we're walking down now. It's an old forest road from the parking area. Friends, we've made it to Camp Bloom. This is a private camp, so in the book and, just general courtesy, don't approach it or get near it or vandalize other people's stuff. That should go without saying, but we're on the Chuck Keiper Trail still, which goes right past it here. We got bright orange blazes on the trees. It's very easy to follow this path, so you shouldn't get lost. And this ought to lead down to Yost Run and Keiper Fork, I believe, where they connect together. And that's where the falls are. One falls on each stream. Total from the parking lot, this is supposed to be 1.5 miles in, and then we'll go 1.5 miles back out with like 500 feet in elevation gain. So it's a fairly easy hike. That's why we're not carrying the boy. We're trying to get him to be able to walk, and he's starting to be able to follow instructions and stuff. So this is one we're thinking he can do just about the whole thing on his own, we're hoping. And of course, maybe that'll allow him to sleep a little bit better tonight. So that's where we're at now. Tomorrow's hike, probably I'll be carrying him, because that's going to be a little bit more involved. As far as scenery goes, there's not a whole lot here. You got a lot of mountain laurel, and it would probably be really cool to be here when all this stuff is in bloom. Otherwise, we're past the fall foliage time, so really it's pretty much just wide open, and we're on top of a ridge, so there's not a lot in the ways of views from here. But don't worry, because we're going to show you an epic view when we get done with this hike. So I was a bit worried that there might not be a lot of flow in the waterfalls, and we've had a really dry summer and season here in Pennsylvania, especially down south where we're from. But judging by the amount of spring water that's flowing off of various places around us, this isn't the only little creek we've seen flowing out of the mountain here. We should be okay in regards to water. So that's got me really excited to get down here and finally get to see these waterfalls. This has been on my list for a while. Ever since we did Round Island Run, which is in this vicinity as well, and I highly recommend you check out that and our video on it. But ever since we did that, I've wanted to find this one as well, so pretty excited to finally get down here. Alright, friends, we have made it to the Browns cabin. And Rachel, we're supposed to go where?
We're supposed to go right down here. So at the first cabin it was about half a mile. At this cabin it's just a little over a mile if you're tracking. So we'll go right off of this road and follow the trail till we find the waterfall.
This probably is the best piece of property in the state of Pennsylvania. I would love to have this cabin here. Right now I can't see it because this child has his hands in front of my eyes. The kids, of course, like to find cool stuff because when we find cool stuff, they get cookies and muffins. So, always remember to bring snacks on the trail for them and for me. Now, forgive me, but I forget which name is attributed to this waterfall and which is which. I want to say this is Keiper Fork, but I'll put it right here if I'm wrong. Either way, it doesn't matter. This flows down into Yost Run, I believe. There should be another identical waterfall right down here. So it's pretty cool that there's two of them right here next to each other, and this all will dump down into the Susquehanna River. The West Branch, I believe. That overlook that we're going to take you to, which we'll drive to once we get done with the trail, will be overlooking the Susquehanna right where this stuff all dumps in. So, like I said, this area is epic. This waterfall is no different. Look at it back there from here. I mean, with all the rhododendron and stuff in here, I mean, this is just straight out of a fairy tale, really. This stuff is real easy to find. It's all right off of the Chuck Keiper trail. So, like, if you want to come back here, you know, you're not going to get lost or nothing. I was really hoping to maybe see some wildlife, but the kids are too noisy. We're in the heart of like black bear country. I'd really love to see one of these days. You'd think that if there was a black bear or like a Sasquatch or something, maybe he'd be living right here somewhere. But Whalen Willie probably scared him away. Sasquatch and the black bears. Isn't that cool? Yeah. And by the way, friends, what a beautiful fall day for a hike. This is November, Veterans Day, so to all you veterans out there, thank you for your service, and we appreciate, you know, a day off in order to get some recreation activities in, and we thank you for everything else too, you know, providing us a country and a land to live in where we're free. So we appreciate that and shout out to that. But like I said, it's November and what a beautiful day it is. I'm just blessed to have great weather today and this whole weekend. For a while there, the weather report was looking pretty dreary, so we are lucky because it's like in the 50s today and it's blue skies and no sign of any precipitation. Look at them trees growing up there on top of them rocks. Pretty neat. The other waterfall is seemingly just over there, so in the time I've talked to you, you can still sort of see that one in the distance, just barely, and I can see the other one there. So, let's go over and check it out. Willie wants to keep going down the Chuck Keiper trail. He wants to backpack all 50 miles of it. I don't have it in me, so we ain't doing that. But it's good that he knows where the trail is and where to walk and where not to and stuff like that. So that's good. He's learning. We gotta do a little creek crossing here and go check out the waterfall. Now, I'm not completely sure about regulations, so don't think I'm telling you to do something you ain't allowed, but there's a nice fire pit just right here, and if you're backpacking on the Chuck Keiper trail, you know, I would suggest that this would be a nice camp spot. Like I said, I'm not sure if you need a permit or what the situation is there, but look into it, because literally from right here, look, you can see one waterfall there, and you'd be camping right next to this one. See, I don't know where you'd put your tent, but it doesn't matter. I'll sleep on a rock if I can have this situation.
Minus our children. It was a really nice, quiet walk down through the woods, down to see these waterfalls. I don't know which one was the first waterfall, but that one is my favorite. This one's like a smaller version of that one, but over there, it's prettier, it's bigger, and it was a nice walk down here. So
if you want a quiet hike, you know,
don't bring children.
Come here, just don't come here when we're here, or don't bring your kids. But you know, it is amazing how still and quiet it is out here in the Pennsylvania wilds. So that's what we have to contend with, though. So it is not quiet. But we're gonna head back up to the truck and take you to an awesome overlook, and then back to Black Moshanon State Park. All right, well, we've headed over to Fields Ridge Road. This is an overlook Rachel and I discovered a long time ago, right?
A long time ago.
A lot of times when we're driving up and down 144, our goal is to just get to whatever our destination is, be it home or the other way. And so we don't have a lot of time for these detours, like the hike that we just did or going out to here, because this is like 8 miles out and then 8 miles you got to drive back, and you know, you're only going 30-35 mile an hour. It's a very well maintained forest road. You can probably make it in just about any vehicle, and it's a beautiful overlook at the end, so we're excited to get there. It's been a long time actually since we've been over.
Well, yeah, so like we did it one time and then we wanted to do it again and we could never remember which road it was. We're like, is it that one? Is it that one? And we never had time to really test it out and figure it out which one it was. So it's nice to be able to come back out here now that we figured out which one it is and see it again.
What'd you think of the flock of turkeys?
That was pretty cool.
They just kept running straight down the road, and I'm like, you might get run over if you keep doing that.
No, they turned off eventually, but yeah, they did. It was funny. They were running from the truck, but they wouldn't get off the road.
They just flew away. We're at the overlook now, so Sarah and I are gonna get out and check it out. Friends, if you're trying to come over here, I would definitely suggest, coming here in the fall. This would be a great fall spot. We're well past the peak of fall foliage, so there's essentially no foliage on anything now. Hopefully below us you can see the Susquehanna River. This is the West Branch. This is one of the best overlooks I've found, and it's a well-hidden spot. You can have it all to yourself and just kind of sit here and take it all in. So we're going to finish up time lapse here, and then we're headed back to Black Moshanon. I'm probably going to say this is the end of this episode. Friends, we'd appreciate if you'd tune in next week, Thursday at 5 o'clock, just like always. We're going to be hiking a trail near Black Moshanon. There's several majestic overlooks, as they're called, so we're going to go try to find those. Should be a fun day, fun adventure, so we will see you then. Thanks for watching.